Why, hello there. Welcome to my weekly broadcast. My name's Nicole. I'm your marketing lady, talking about all things marketing and tech as it relates to small business. And this week's topic is re-engaging your customers. So before we get started though, I'd just like a little feedback as somebody who's maybe a regular listener. I have put a sound panel into the side of the window, which is where I record when I'm at home. So I would love to know if that has cut down on the traffic noise. Shout out to my boyfriend, Ben, for making and installing it during his visit. And I would hope that would improve things. Also wearing my hair up because somebody said I should do that more often. And if you're a man on the internet thinking, why would someone give unsolicited advice about your appearance when you're talking about marketing topics? Welcome to being a woman on the internet. So let's talk about re-engaging customers. So there's a few ways you can do this. And the reason, of course, you'd want to is if you've been in business for any length of time, you probably figured out that there takes a lot less energy, time, money to sell something new to your existing customers. Your existing customers, they already like you, they already trust you. And if they liked your first, second, and third product, they're gonna like your 10th or 12th or whatever iteration of product or service that you're on. So if you have something new, why not show it to your existing customers or people who've done business with you in the past? So here's a couple of ways that you can re-engage with your customers. The first is to use your email or your texting list. Now, you've heard marketing people like me tell you a gazillion times to set up either an email subscription, newsletter type thing where people can subscribe, or, you can set up a texting service where people can add their phone numbers and they can get regular text messages from you or your business. Now, depending on what kind of thing you're selling, one might work better than the other. Examples I've used that work really well for texting things is if you're like a restaurant. So maybe, you have a new special or like you have a new kind of pizza. It's not really like the thing that needs a whole newsletter to say it, but like, people would want to know. Or if you're a church, so maybe you have a lot of congregants who don't necessarily check their email all the time, but they do have cell phones, letting them know that the church service is an hour late, or letting them know that there's a special event coming up. Text message might be a good way to do that. But a lot of people use email for the reason that maybe they have more to say, or they're going to use that kind of service. But I just wanted to say that texting services can be better than email in some cases. Those are just two I can think of right now. So obviously communicating with people on a regular basis is a great way to engage with them, and for you to be kind of top of mind as the business, and for you to either talk about a new product or service or an event you have coming up or something like that that might be of interest to your existing customers. A second thing you can do to engage customers is to request some kind of feedback. So maybe you are trying out something new, or maybe you've had a product or service for a while and you want to make it better. Asking for feedback or creating a mechanism for feedback from your existing customers is a great way to show as a company that you care about what they have to say and honestly seem open to making improvements. Now, you can use whether it's some kind of online survey, and maybe, out of everybody you do a drawing, maybe you just say, hey, everyone who takes this survey will send you, a $10 gift certificate to our store. I'm not telling you exactly how to do it or anything, but to just think about something that you wish you had feedback on and getting that from your existing customers and somehow like rewarding them for that feedback. Now, if you want that feedback to be a little bit more regular, this third tip will be for you. But a third way to engage with customers, if you want to do it on a regular basis, whether it is to get feedback or whether it is to just kind of keep having conversations, is to create an online community. So where this community lives obviously will depend on your customers. So if most of your customers are on Facebook, maybe a Facebook group is a good place to have it. If your customers are a little bit farther flung, maybe you set up, a Discord chat or something like that, and you want them to kind of talk in one kind of big texting thread. There's different ways to set up online communities, but the basic idea is that you're going to have a regular presence there, and that not only can people interact with you as a business, but they can interact with each other in regards to, something about your goods and services. So, maybe you have a sewing shop, and you're going to talk about, the fabrics and things you have for sale, but also people are going to maybe ask product questions or ask, or support each other in certain projects, that kind of thing. So If you want something more ongoing, you can set up a community. It doesn't have to be highly technical. You just have to figure out what the rules of your community are and kind of how you want people to interact so that as the captain, you can steer that ship. And a fourth and final way to engage with customers is to give them some kind of gift. So whether that is an event that only your customers are invited to, maybe that could be a thing. It could be an online event that only your customers are invited to. It could actually be a physical gift. And I've got a little story to tell you here of something I did. So a few years ago, I met my friend Jill, and she's an awesome artist. And something I've always wanted to do is make greeting cards. I know I have a lot of passions. Okay. So I hired Jill to do 5 tech greeting cards and 5, I'm calling them Maine greeting cards. Most of my clients are in Maine because that's where I started my business. So I had a lot of kind of really local people, but I also wanted to make a series of cards for my non-local clients. So, so here are some of them. I can't find. And I like she illustrated them. So there's her Jill Lee right here. Apparently I'm not good at mirrored, and they're just blank. There's nothing in them. So this is one of them. This is another. And you get the idea. It's really funny because this is my favorite one. That's my favorite tech one. And then we have some Bar Harbor ones. My favorite Bar Harbor one is "Thanks for being my friend with a boat." And like I'll see if I can find it. These are the ones I physically have in my house right now. I have, by the way, if you want to order some of these, let me know. If you want to carry them in your store, let me know. I accidentally ordered too many when I printed them. And yeah, I have like 100 extra of like each kind. So yeah, anyway. So I made those cards and I put them in like 10 packs. So like I said, there was 5 kinds. There was 5 tech drawings and there was 5 main scene drawings. And so I put 2 of each in a pack with envelopes, and the envelopes I just put like some super bright. I had these orange ones and I also had some teal ones, which are like 2 of my business colors. And I just included a note, just said, hey, it's my 7th or 8th, I can't remember, it was the 7th or 8th year in business. Thanks so much for being a client. Really appreciate you, people like you, helping us get this far, and mailed it. Now, all in all, with the printing and the envelopes and everything, this campaign was like between 2 and 3 grand. I can't remember. I think part of my brain is blocking it out. It felt like a lot of money, but I re-engaged 5 customers and we ended up, in terms of actual billable work, it came out to more than that. Now, that wasn't the reason I did it, but I was just looking at a direct mail campaign costing $10,000, and I thought I would rather just send my clients a gift and pay less than that. So that's what I did. And people love them, and people are still like using them. Actually, my friend Brenda last year, she said, someone got me this card that said, thanks for being my friend with a boat. And I flipped it over and I saw your logo. So like people that like I know are getting the cards and not realizing they're, something that I sort of came up with. So point being is that it added some joy. It was a little gift. And like I said, the most expensive part was the mailing part. If I would have wanted to drive around and drop them off or something, I think it was like $8-ish to mail the pack. And at that point, I think, I'm trying to remember the spreadsheet, I think there was like 250 people on. I mean, it was fairly substantial. But the mailing part was the most expensive, and it really wasn't, I don't know. It was a bit of an expense, but it was like kind of a fun expense, if I can say that. So it doesn't have to be a physical object. You can create, like I said, you can have an online only event. You can have something that you give to just your customers that can be digital. Maybe it's a class, a free class. Maybe it's an updated, you wrote an ebook and you want to just send everyone like the updated version of that ebook because it's been a couple of years. All in all, like I said, however you re-engage your customers, just thinking that you want to do it and thinking of a way to do it, I think is really important, being intentional about it, because our existing customers are what keep us in business. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty grateful for that. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you have any ideas of videos you want me to do, please feel free to leave a comment below wherever you're watching this. You can also send me an email. I'll put that on the screen now. Always looking for new topics and ideas. So appreciate you